Cloud. In this demo session, we will discuss about basics of SAP Analytics Cloud. We will look at the core capabilities of SAP Analytics Cloud, and we will try to understand how can you use Analytics Cloud to solve a problem in your company. What are all the different use cases? And what is that an overview of this training we will cover. So let me start with a user story for the need of SAP Analytics Cloud. As you can see, here I have a user who's working as an IT consultant in the company. His name is Steve. Steve is working in this IT company since last 12 years. Steve understands the business very well, and he also understands where all the company has businesses as well as data centers, keeping all the enterprise data. Now, if you really look at the main challenge for the Steve is to bring the data which is distributed across multiple countries and data centers, bring all this data to a centralized system, and then on top of it, do the analysis in form of charts and nice analytics, and prepare the dashboards to present it to the management. So this is the main requirement. If you look at in the whole process, it constitutes multiple steps. First, bringing the data from multiple data sources. Once the data comes up to your system, you need to wrangle the data by which you can transform it to the correct format, and then finally preparing the dashboard to present it to the management. Now, what are all the options Steve has? Option number one, where Steve's company will go ahead and decide to implement an analytic dashboard solution, where this solution will be installed in his company. Now, to do that, Steve's company need to invest not just on the software license, but also on the hardware. As you can see on this diagram, Steve's company need to take care of also security and networking within the company, and also the complete hardware needs to be set up within his company. This type of solution is called an on-premise offering, in which you are not just paying for the software or the license, but you're also paying for the hardware. You would also need people to manage such a system. Option two, which Steve's team has, is to go ahead with a cloud-based solutions. In a cloud-based solutions, Steve's company don't have to buy an expensive hardware to support the analytics within the company. Rather, Steve's company subscribes for a solution which is available as software as a service, and Steve's company don't need to upfront do an investment in terms of hardware. So they don't have to go and buy a expensive hardware. Rather, they can use the entire solution in the cloud. It is as simple as just opening your browser and typing gmail.com and start using the Google's mail service. On the same fashion, Steve can also do the same. They will just open the browser and start consuming this solution, which is ready to be used. The total time for implementation is reduced. Steve's company don't need to upfront invest on a huge amount of licensing fee, as well as also the scalability is better, because tomorrow if Steve's company scale from user 5 to user 20 or user 200, they can easily scale without worrying about the underlying hardware. And that's where the SAP Analytics Cloud comes into picture. SAP Analytics Cloud, as you see the definition, what SAP Analytics Cloud is all about. SAP Analytics Cloud is a software as a service connecting your people, your data, and ideas from multiple sources to enable fast and confident decision making. If you really observe here, the main purpose is to have a fast and confident decision making. It allows user to discover, visualize, plan, and predict. These are all the top 4 pillars of SAP Analytics Cloud. Discover, visualize, plan, and predict all in one place. So there are so many competitors of SAP Analytics Cloud in the market. You might have heard about Tableau, which was acquired by Salesforce.com recently. So like this, there are so many competitors. Going forward, when I'll show you the strategy of SAP Analytics Cloud, I will also show you how Analytics Cloud is better as compared to its competitors. So the main advantage is a single solution. It's a cloud-based solution, which means you don't have to upfront invest on a heavy hardware. You will go pay per use, as in when you progress, you scale your company, you can also scale the solution along with that. And the main advantage is it's an all-in-one solution for businesses to take fast and confident decisions. And that's where it also brings in a lot of collaboration capabilities without really downloading any data or a PDF files. Steve can share these dashboards and reports and stories with his management with just one click. He can immediately receive the feedback on the stories and dashboards which Steve has built, and he can also improve the changes in the stories and the dashboards right with that feedback. So it's an end-to-end closed loop scenario which you can implement with SAP Analytics Cloud. So we will be looking in this course all the topics related to SAP Analytics Cloud. I am sure many of you would have tried attempting to learn SAP Analytics Cloud from the internet, and you are kind of very confused with so much of material available today on the internet. So when you go to internet, you'll see there's so much of YouTube videos, there's so much of content. When you subscribe for the trial, they will give you bombarding with help documentation, and it's very kind of confusing. There is no single place where you can go and learn everything in a right flow. So that's what is lacking today, though everything is there on internet, but you're kind of lacking on that side. Where is that? I have one single place which can covers all what I need. And there we are, Anubhav Trainings, allowing you or helping you to understand everything in a single flow in a guided way. So first phase of the course, we will start with setting up SAP Analytics Cloud system. So if you will be surprised to know now that SAP is offering SAP planning capabilities on SAP Analytics Cloud in the trial mode as well. When the trial was started, they didn't offer planning capabilities, but now it's offered with the trial as well. Then phase 2, we will start with fundamentals. Many of you come from different backgrounds. You may be developer or BW or BI or maybe finance. Then you may not be so comfortable with some of the basic terminologies like what is a tenant, what is an SAP Cloud Platform, what is a authentication mechanism, what is SSO, what is a destination, what is subscription means, different terminologies about stories, measures, dimensions, calculated dimensions, restricted measures, different terminologies about planning like forecasting, budgeting. A lot of these things you are not so comfortable as of now. Don't worry, this course is designed in such a way that we will cover all the fundamentals, all the best practices, including the terminologies for you, and that's what we'll do in the phase 1. Then it's a complete scenario-based training, which also offers you the data sets. So many a time you're trying to practice SAP Analytics Cloud, but you're lacking in the data sets. You don't have the right data to get started. So we'll also provide you all the data sets which you need to be able to practice SAP Analytics Cloud. All the BI features, including charts, tables, maps, widgets, which you can use in different types of stories, will be covered, including real-time scenarios. I will show you a glimpse of that at the end of this demo session. Then we also have planning capabilities, including planning models on acquired data model, creating different planning scenarios with value driver tree, allocations, distributions, and many more will be part of the phase 3 of this course. In the phase 4, we will cover digital boardroom, wherein you can combine stories from different areas like HR, finance, marketing together on a connected way to showcase a contextual digital boardroom to present it to your management. Then we will also learn about smart features like Smart Predict, Smart Insight, Smart Discovery. We will also utilize the powerful inbuilt machine learning capability which SAP Analytics Cloud comes in. The main advantage, it brings you machine learning to the end user without having too much of knowledge on machine learning and its algorithm and the programming. You will still be able to develop machine learning scenarios of type regression, classification, and time series. So that's what called predictive scenarios in case of SAC. And we will be learning all of that as part of this course with the real use cases. So we will be also building amazing analytical apps using Analytical Designer and the APIs offered. And we will also see how can we use scripting capabilities offered by SAC Designer to turn out your insights to actions quickly. And then we will talk about live data connections, how to configure live data connections to SAP S4HANA, SAP BW and BPC, and also learn how to consume data which is present in your SAP HANA system inside of SAP Cloud Platform. So how would you be able to do the connections? So for that, whatever course, filter enablement, or whatever SAP Cloud Connector and SAP Cloud Agent, Analytics Cloud Agent configuration, whatsoever is required, we will cover it from scratch. And at the end, of course, we'll see a little bit of administration and security part, wherein we learn about how to create users, what are the different predefined roles available in the system, how can you ensure that certain users can only get certain amount of access of data rather than giving a full-blown access to everyone. You can actually control the access to the user. Now, moving on, who is this course for? You must be wondering, am I at the right place? Does it belong to me? Can I also attend SAP Analytics Cloud? Anyone can join SAP Analytics Cloud. As I mentioned, there is no prerequisite for this course to be joined. You can be anyone. In fact, you can be just a layman person who has just basic idea about SAP. You would like to do a step in towards SAP world. Yes, this course is also applies to you. Don't need to have any programming or technical skills required to be part of this course. So business users, if you are a business user, want to build the stories and models, you can definitely join this course. If you are existing BWBI consultant and you see there is a transformation, there is a shift happening towards the cloud in your company recently bought the license of SAC, and now they want you to develop stories across consuming your existing data sets, existing BACS queries into the SAP Analytics Cloud and present the data in the cloud. You can do that. If you're a BobJ consultant, you're using more of a BobJ tools, which were like Crystal reports on a on-premise system, and now you wanted to take those reports and dashboards with a live and acquired data connection to cloud. This course is also helps you to do so. If you're a financial analyst currently using BPC, SAP Business Planning and Consolidation System, which is an on-premise solution to do the planning related stuff, you can also do that now with SAP Analytics Cloud. Of course, it will be unfair to just compare right away all the features of on-premise with cloud. Cloud has its own offerings and own advantages, and on-premise has its own advantages. Please note that this course, or SAP Analytics Cloud for that matter, doesn't substitute your on-premise solution. It's not a substitution of your existing solutions which you are using. In fact, SAP is also innovating on the on-premise side. Parallelly, they are offering you the cloud version of these capabilities which you can utilize. So we will also try to understand and try to break these myths which are existing in the market. Then if you are a business analyst or data scientist, where you would like to now bring in the machine learning to your end user with the powerful predictive scenarios as SAC offers, you could also join our course. And of course, my favorite, application developers who would like to design complicated, complex applications with little bit of a scripting. Like, for example, if I click on a button, I want to call an OData service which does something in S4 on a system. So all these capabilities are also possible. We will be learning SAP Analytics Designer, which is the last pillar of those 4 pillars, where we will learn how to write scripting to take insight to the actions to your business users and businesses. So all of this will be part of our course. So I hope you now understand that this course is for everyone. There is something for you in this course. If you are one of these, or even you are just a beginner in SAP world, definitely makes sense to start with SAP Analytics Cloud. Now, what we have today for the demo for all of you. So let's start the game. We have a demo, beautiful demo for you designed today with a data set. So as in the current situation, as you can see, we would see a lot of hospitals are having a lot of different beds. But as a patient or as a Steve, I am not aware which of my hospital has what capacity of beds right now available. So there are different types of beds, like we have ICU beds, we have normal beds, we have psychiatric beds available in different counties in United States, and each state has so many hospitals. So what I want a dashboard to be prepared, which shows how the last 9-year hospital beds in United States and their county hospitals have increased over last 9 years. I would also want to know which state has how many counties and which county has how many total beds available per habitants, right? And then we wanted to also do a little bit of a deep dive to analyze the data in terms of hospitals per count, hospitals and total number of hospitals and beds per county, and also how that particular county is adding beds to the different hospitals. So it's a 3-step process. We're going to load the data, we're going to create the model, do the wrangling on the data, and we are going to build the story to fulfill the user's requirement as per the screenshot mentioned here. So let me switch it over the output. This is how our expected result should be. On the left side, you see United States, and it is showing these bubbles based on the population size. So if the some of the state has high population, the bubble size will be bigger. As you can see, Texas is bigger than Florida in terms of population. And then we have on the right side the counties, and each county how many beds are available right now. And then if I select Texas, then it should now filter out all the counties within the Texas, all the hospitals within the Texas city, and then for these different counties. And then when I select a particular county, it should show me below in this chart, pie chart, how is that particular county is adding hospitals over the last couple of years. So that's the end-to-end dashboard we wanted to build it with our use case today in this demo session. So it's a step-by-step process for story building. What are all the steps we follow whenever it comes to any requirement and you wanted to address with SAP Analytics Cloud. This is a standard framework we follow. First, we need to understand the requirement from the user's perspective. In step 2, we will collect the data from different sources, whatever sources we have. So here the sources is either New York City Health Department or US Health Department. That's where we get the data from. So that's the data source for us. And then we need to upload this data to SAP Analytics Cloud or acquire data with a live data connection. So suppose if I have a hospital ERP already running, I want to do a live connection, or if I've got the data from the State Department in an Excel sheet, I would like to upload that. That's a step 3. So this step takes majority of the time. When it comes to any requirement, you need to understand the requirement correct. You need to collect the data from different sources, and then we need to prepare the data models. So data modeling is a process of wrangling and blending the data coming from different sources together and then preparing the final data set, which is what you will be able to use to prepare your dashboards and stories. So this includes steps of wrangling. Wrangling means you wanted to apply transformation, you wanted to do text conversion, currency conversion, you wanted to do transformations, you wanted to split data, geo enrich data. All of this we will be covering in our chapter number 3 more in details. And then blending means suppose you have a data coming from success factor for employees, and then you have data coming from field glass for all your contractors. You wanted to combine these two data together and present a nice dashboard out of it. So that's a blending. So we will also look at blending examples going forward. And then finally, we have to prepare stories. So story is nothing but your dashboard. So you will start with a canvas, your empty canvas, where you will paint a beautiful dashboard with different types of controls offered by SAP Analytics Cloud. we have different widgets like Geomaps, tables, charts. In the charts also, we have around 6 types of categories to choose from. We will see more details about the chart in unit number 4. And then we have finally the styling to apply the beautiful styling, the background to be able to show the final result set to our end user in a more styled manner with different coloring options, formatting options, borders, spacing. A lot of these things you can really do it, and without any know-how of technicality actually in the system. So without wasting further time, let's switch it over to our use case. So what I'll do is I'll go back and first show you the data set, which I've already prepared and connected. So you can see this is the data I've got from the United States Health Department, and I can see here the countries all over US. And now we have the different states here, and within these different states we have different counties. So you can see these are different counties, and each county we have the number of beds which are mentioned here in this beds column. So you can also see the bed type, whether it's an ICU, acute, or psychiatric bed. And remember now, interesting thing to note, these beds which you see here, they are mentioned as a unit of 1,000 habitant per population bed, which means if I have a population in this particular county as this, the number of beds unit is 1,000 per habitant, which means if I want to calculate the actual number of beds, it's going to be my beds multiplied by population divide by 1,000, because it's 1,000, number of beds are 1,000 per habitant. So there are total 57 beds available in the other criteria in this particular county, in this particular state. So that's basically our calculation. And these number of beds were added in these different years. As you can see, we have data ranging from 2013 till 2020 latest. And then we also have each state's latitude and longitude. With the help of that, we will be making our maps. So guys, this is what is so important. First to understand requirement, then to understand data sets. What I have observed, majority of the trainers who are there today teaching you, either they directly start with building stories. They don't even show you what is the data set. They don't even explain you what is the requirement. How would you understand SAP Analytics Cloud if you don't know the business, if you don't know what exactly it means, what the data means, how to use the data, what is it's telling you, what patterns the data is telling you, and what you want to achieve with the data. So in every scenario which I'm going to take in this training, I'm going to first start with this data set. I'm going to first explain you what the data set means, where did we get the data from, and what it means for you. And then we will look at and understand the requirement which we need to fulfill, and then we will start with modeling. So never ever directly start with modeling or story building if you are not clear about the requirement, or if you're not clear about your data set. So I hope all of you understood what data sets we have now. So this is our data set. We understand also the important units, and based on these units, how to calculate the number of beds, because this calculation is also very important for our scenario and our use case, which we will be doing in a moment. And let's get started now over to the system. And I'm going to first step, as I mentioned on my PPT, is going to be uploading this data onto the SAP Analytics Cloud system. So today, as it's just a demo session, please understand and bear with me that I'll not be able to explain you every terminology, but trust me, when you go with the step-by-step tutorials and lesson by lesson, I'm going to explain you every single terminology which comes around you in SAP Analytics Cloud, which you kind of missing today when you read through those internet tutorials. So what I'll do is switch it over to my system. This is SAP Analytics Cloud system. How do I get this screen is what I'll show you in next class. Our next class is planned next weekend. So I'll show you how to get a registration done for yourself and get that SAP Analytics Cloud system started. So as you saw, it starts on a browser. It's web-based, and there is nothing I need to install in my local machine to get started with this one. And I can go back to the data, and I have my data set over here. I'm going to drag it up and quickly drop it to here. And you can see system is now going to quickly upload this data, and this is called acquired data model. And acquired data model is where all the data is acquired by SAP Analytics Cloud. So all the data resides within SAP Analytics Cloud system. And behind the scene, it uses SAP HANA DB. So it's basically stored in the SAP HANA DB now. So that's why it's called acquired data model. There's another one which is called live data model, where you don't acquire any data in Analytics Cloud. Rather, you will just use the existing models, security, and the data which is there in your source system, which is what also we will be learning throughout our course in unit number 16. Okay, I come back, and now you see we have got here the data set. So you can see right now the latitude and longitude are separate. So I'm going to do a little bit of data wrangling, not too much of it today, but you can just quickly go back and select these two. And now you can just click on this nice button called Geo Enrichment and choose an option called coordinates. So I'll say, hey, please Geo enrich my data set with these two coordinates combined together to create a data point. So we'll name this as location. And now we're going to choose our latitude and longitude column over here. Nice. Click on OK. And now you will see that a new column will be introduced next to that called location column. Why I need this location column? Because I'm going to represent this data of states on a map. And as you all know, when you study in school days, we get this beautiful book called Atlas. And what does the Atlas teaches us, or what does the Google Map teaches us? That every single position on the global map is presented by a latitude and longitude combination, not just alone. So that's why we have to enrich the data with the geolocation. If you carefully observe the detail of this particular dimension which is created, it's of type location. You can see here. Yeah, it's of type location. So it is. This is what is called spatial data, which a map does understand. So if you don't have this type of location data, then map will not be able to portray it correctly. So now we are done. So we can just quickly go back to our story building. So right now it's an acquired embedded data set. There are different types of model. I'm going to explain you in our unit number 4, where we will start with the different model categorization and understand what is the difference between analytic and planning, acquired versus live, and embedded versus public. So these types of terminologies and concepts we will be understanding in unit number 4. So I've got a nice area, a canvas where I can start my painting. So first of all, it's a responsive one. So I'm going to delete the left side panel. I'm also going to delete this guy. Or maybe we can give a name here. Welcome to Anubhav Trainings demo session. And now the very first thing which I'm going to do is I'm going to add a Geo Map. So we click on this plus button and we choose this Geo Map, and system is going to add a quick map for us on the screen. There you go. And in this map, right now we don't see anything. So we don't know where our hospitals are. So our hospitals are, of course, we are analyzing the United States data set. So we are not able to see right now our data points. To bring in the data points, it's important that we add a data point layer. And that's where we click on this add layer button. And we can say all the state locations. And I'm going to choose now a dimension called location dimension. This is what you remember. Just now we enriched our data set with the location. And the moment I do, voila, you can see on the left side, all of my data points are pretty visible based on those coordinates which we enriched. So all the different states are being projected on the map. Now, next what I want to do is this bubble color I want to change depending on higher to lower population. So I wanted to add a bubble color measure, and I'll say, please do that based on population. So I'll just expand this up, and you see here we have two measures. One is bed and population. Don't worry if you are not so comfortable with terminology, what is a measure and what is a dimension. I'm going to cover that in unit 1, tomorrow's class, where I will explain you what is a measure means, what is a dimension means, what is a restricted measure, what is a restricted dimension. I'm going to explain all of these terminologies to all of you in the next class. So for now, I'll just say, please choose the color depending on population. And now you see we got a legend here which says If it's a little darkish blue color, it's a zero population or less population as compared to the one which is in the red. It's a higher population. Okay, this is a population distribution now. Now, next, I want to also change the bubble size depending on my population. So higher the population, bigger the bubble size should be. And now you see, guys, we have got this beautiful portrait of population. Now, we can also change a lot of more things in terms of the size of the bubble, in terms of the transparency and the scaling. All of these we will cover in our unit number 5, when I'll show you the details about the maps. Now we are done with this, and we can also quickly go back and change the base layer as maybe a dark gray style map or maybe a transparent one. So I'll choose the transparent one, and you will see my map type will quickly change to a transparent map now. Awesome. So that's my step 1. I hope this was clear. Maybe definitely I'll take all the questions towards the end of this demo session. And then we will also discuss about some of the frequently asked questions as well. So stay tuned, please. Let's add the next one. It's our chart as per our use case. If you go back to our use case once again. So next is we want to see this kind of a bar chart where it shows number of beds per hospital, per county actually. So let's go back and quickly grab a chart here. You see this insert a chart. It comes up. And now what I'm going to do is I'll say, hey, can you please add a new measure? Now, if you remember our data set, the number of beds are currently in the unit of 1,000 per habitants per population. But this is not giving me the actual count of beds. The actual count of beds comes when you calculate it by number of beds multiplied by amount of population divided by 1,000, because it's one number of beds per 1,000 population. Yeah, it's 651 beds, actually the right count. So for that, what we can do is we can create here a calculated measure. So just click on create calculation. And now I can say it's going to be calculated measures. And I'm going to say number of beds or bed count. And we can just come here and say beds. My bed value from my data set multiplied by population divide by 1,000. So we quickly created a calculation out here. Click on OK. And you can see the total number of beds today across United States is in total is about 9 crores 23 lakhs 33,000. Okay, it's more than that actually. All right. So we have this much of beds across United States in total. All types of beds within all types of counties within all states. But we want it per county. So let's switch it over to dimension. And I will say, please show me the number of beds per county. And wow, there you go. You can see now you've got a beautiful chart which shows the Jefferson County has the highest number of beds at the moment in the United States. And this is, by the way, real data which I've got from United States Health Department website. I will also show you the data source. For each of the data source, I'm going to explain you in our course where did I get the data source from and how to understand and read the data set carefully. Now, what I can also do is I can choose different types of palettes, color palettes to choose. We can also go back straight to the designer panel with the styling panel option, and we can directly change the data point color also from here. So I'll switch it over to orange color, and you can see the color is changed to orange. The next one, we're going to add now a pie chart, which shows the distribution of beds, whether it's an ICU or a psychiatric or an acute bed. So for that, I'm going to add another chart quickly downstairs, just below the bar chart, and we're going to put it of type, let's say, a pie chart. And we will say, hey, can you please show me the number of beds per county, per bed type. So now it shows you the distribution of beds. So you can see at the moment in the United States, the normal acute type of beds are 61.37%. And ICU beds are 33%. And then we have 1.78% other types and 3.41 of psychiatric type of beds. So these are all the distribution currently we have. But this distribution is the overall distribution of all the beds across all the counties in the United States. All right. So you see, we have a nice drag and drop option as well to just change the size of the chart. There are a lot of styling options. We're going to cover styling in unit number 6, where I'm going to show you detailed styling options, switching the values from a value to percentage to value, adding calculated measures, thresholds, adding the references, the variations. A lot of these things we'll cover in our course as and when we progress. But now the requirement was to show the bed distribution over years. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly go back and click on the plus button and add a trellis here. And what does this trellis will essentially do is it's going to split up your data based on the dimension you add. So I'm going to add my time dimension here. I'll say, please split up the distribution of these types of beds over last couple of years. And I just do that. And I just also say, please show me level 2. And wow, there you go. You can see now the number of bed distribution over 2012, 13, 14, 15. It has replicated the multiple charts over here to showing you the distribution of beds, how they are happening over year-on-year basis. So you can clearly see in ICU beds in 2019 due to COVID crisis, the 99.8% of the beds which were added in the United States county hospitals was of type ICU beds. Yeah. And then you see here we have 20% in 2020 added as ICU beds. And this is the distribution of beds per county. Now, what I want to see is I want to see only last 3 years data. I'm not interested in all the old year data. So I can quickly go back down there and add a filter on my date dimension. So I'll say, please show me number of years. And I just wanted to do it for 2018, 19, and 20. Click OK. It's not working. I'm going to close that. Again, add a filter on the year dimension as a range. And here I can say, hey, please show me for last 2 years. Click on OK. And there you go. You can see we have got the distribution of beds over last 3 years. I'm going to expand my chart a little. And that's our distribution. Awesome, guys. You can see I can also click on designer to just get rid of this designer panel. And now I see we have the total distribution. Let's align our charts and maps. And you see now we got the data results. But hey, hold on. I want also the drill down capability. Suppose, for example, if I click on taxes, then it should now filter all the counties within the taxes, and it should show the number of beds only in the taxes. So let's do that. So I'm going to switch it over back to our Geomap, and in the Geomap here, we can also, we have different options to change. You see, there are different options to change from. We can just go back and say that whenever showing the data on the map, you can see here we have different clustering capabilities. We have different possibilities over here to show the data. Now, what I want is whenever I click on state. So right now it's showing coordinates. Let's also go back to the data here. And whatever coordinates you have selected, just go to its details and just give here description for the coordinate. You see description, and I will give the description as my state. Yeah. So now it's connected to the state, and switch it back to the story. And instead of showing now every time a coordinate, it should show me the bubble as a state actually. So watch out now, it's refreshing, and you see now the state code is coming. You can see Texas, Seattle, Florida, New York City. So you get all these state names instead of the coordinates, which is more user friendly. And now what I want to do is I want to activate a linked analysis. Linked analysis allows you to drill down the data based on data point selection. So here you see there are different data points. So I'll just go back to the Geomap and say, please activate a linked analysis, and only the selected widget on my current page. And I'll say, please filter on select of data point, my values in my bar chart, which is showing number of beds per county. Apply. And the similar step, I will also do it for my bar chart, activate a linked analysis. And whenever I select, I should select my bar chart, linked analysis. And whenever I select any data point on my county beds, then please filter also my pie charts how exactly the number of beds have been added within that particular county hospital for last 3 years. So all this linked analysis, we have done it now. And now, guys, come back and watch out. I just click on taxes, watch out, observe this chart on the right side. I click my data point, and you see for the taxes, you see now get the distribution here. Awesome. Fantastic. Now, I wanted to also quickly go ahead and do the, on my chart, I wanted to do the distribution of top 5 only. So we can also do that. So we can come down here, and there is a possibility to just show only the top 5. So let me just check that. We can also allow here to only add top 5. Maybe just have to deactivate this, and I'll just say, please only show top 5 counties with the highest number of beds. Only top 5 I'm interested, and just press enter. And it only shows you now top 5 hospitals. So if I select now Texas, it will only show me the top 5 counties within Texas with the number of beds in total. And now watch out, I select one of the county, let's say Dallas. The moment I select Dallas, you can see it is showing me the distribution of beds in Dallas alone. So Dallas has added only the beds in 2018 and 19, and this is the distribution of beds in Dallas. I will also include Harris, and you see both Harris and Dallas, how they have added the number of beds over last 2 years. So you can also select more to see the distribution of beds over last couple of years within these particular counties. Yeah. So that's the beauty. That's a data point selection option. We have got it. Let's check the New York City. So if I go to New York City, and you can see how the New York City is adding up to their beds over the last couple of years. The top 5 ones, of course. Yeah. All right. So that was our dashboard. Let's come to the little bit of formatting now. So we will switch it over to this panel. I click the panel, and I'll switch it over to the page lane, or the styling option for this lane. And now over here, we have multiple options to choose from. Either we can use gradient styling or image. So I'll go with the image, and I will add an image. I'm going to quickly upload an image from my computer. I've got an image on my computer, this one, and I'll say please insert, and switch this image, cover my whole page with this image. Beautiful. You see how beautiful our dashboard looks like now, covered with this image. And what I want is my labels are not pretty visible. So just select here and do a little bit of styling here for this. And I change my font color to also orange and make it a little bolder. Increase the size little bit to, let's say, 14. Yeah, looks much better. Same, you come down, and for this guy, probably want to change it to white color. And you see everything comes in the white color. Make it bolder, increase the size a little. And now maybe we can also change this label here. Types of bed added over year-on-year basis. That's how you can really change it. And you have a lot of different other options to choose from, which we will be exploring, of course, when we go to our detailed course. And you can switch it over to the view mode now. So all the panels and everything gets disappear, and that's your dashboard. Within just 30 minutes with the demo data sets, we were able to create a real dashboard in action in the system. Now, switching over back to my PPT before we give a closing remark. So let's switch it over to frequently asked questions. Some of you will definitely have a lot of questions about when is this course starting, what is the duration, what do I get, or what learnings I'm going to make. So let me start with some of the frequently asked questions before I switch it over to questions from your side. So first question, is there any prerequisite to learn SAP Analytics Cloud with you, Anubhav? With Anubhav trainings, there is no prerequisite to learn SAP Analytics Cloud. We're going to start all over from the beginning, including the fundamentals of cloud platform, BW, analytics, BI, database, HANA, and S4 HANA. So whenever needed, I'm going to explain you what HANA means, what measure means, what dimension is all about. So what is a actual data set? What is a forecast data set? What is a budget data set? What are all the fundamentals of planning? I'm going to explain all of that as part of the course for you. Yes. What are all covered in this course? Everything you need to know about SAP Analytics Cloud, which includes especially the BI, the planning, predictive, designer, digital boardroom, live data connection, and administration. As I mentioned, it's an all-in-one course with a straight line. You don't have to rush over any material here and there, which waste a lot of your time. You get all of it at one single place with us on our trainings. It's all in one course. Where do I practice? What about server access? So SAP is offering a free trial for SAP Analytics Cloud for 90 days now, including planning enabled. I'm going to show you in the next class how to set up your server, how to basically set up your Analytics Cloud subscription for free, and you can practice the entire course on that system. All the data sets which are required, I will be providing it to you as part of the course. Will you show the live data connection? If yes, which are all the types of live data connection will you show us? Yes, I'm going to show you live data connection, and we will include live data connection for S4HANA, for BW, and for BPC, and also HANA on cloud. So all of this I'm going to show you in our course. These are the types of live data connection you will be learning as part of the course. How to enroll for the course? What is the duration? The duration is total 40 hours. It's a weekend batch. So weekend morning, 2 hours, Saturday and Sunday we will be covering. Please mail us on install.abap@gmail.com to enroll this course. Or you would have already received the demo invite from us from the same email ID. Just revert back to that. Where can I find detailed course content? Please go to anubotrainings.com/SAP Analytics Cloud Training. You will find the detailed course content with topic-wise what is covered in the course there. Where do I get study material? So I will guide you through the links and powerful study material guides. Most of it is available publicly. However, at the same time, whatever PPT I'm creating in front of you, it will be shared with you, including data sets in our training blog system. So you will be able to use the material without any issues. Is training real time? Of course, yes. As I showed you in the demo today, we always start with data wrangling, understanding the requirement, understanding the data set, and then start things in the system. So it's all based on case studies, exercises, and real scenarios which comes around. I have practical experience of last 2 years. I'm working on SAC, and with that, all the knowledge which I've gathered together has been brought into this course. I am also working on as a developer on S4HANA, so I know how the synergies works between S4HANA and SAP Analytics Cloud. What about SAC certification? This course is designed keeping in mind that you will be able to crack certification. So we will cover the units where we will explain you about certification exam code, how to apply, what are all the tips to crack, and also a quick guide about how to clear the SAP SAC certification. Can I also attend this course in video mode in case if I miss a class? Yes, why not? Every class which we have will get recorded, and this class you can watch it later point of time for your reference. Even for example, you missed a session, you can later on watch the class only by video. You can attend the whole training. If your timing is not suitable, then you can attend this whole training in video mode actually. So with that, thank you so much. For more details, feel free to visit anubotrainings.com.